Welcome to the line change. In this particular video, we're going to be talking about Sid the Kid, Sidney Crosby, and the fact that he has now surpassed Wayne Gretzky for the most point per game seasons in NHL history. So this is pretty big. I know it's not Canucks related, but I thought it was a pretty big story. Obviously, that record has been around for a really long time, and the fact that someone has surpassed the great one is huge. Now, originally, I was going to do this video yesterday. However, I had ended up doing the Rick Talkett, John Tortorella video, and I figured I'd put that up yesterday. And then I also knew I had the live stream coming up, so I decided to save this video for today. So this is a couple days late on this, so that's the reason for the lateness on this video. But let's go ahead and dive right into this article that we're going to be looking at from the Daily Faceoff. I will, as always, leave a link to the article in the description, and you can go ahead and read along with me if you choose to do so. But let's dive right in. The headline reads, Penguins Sidney Crosby sets NHL record for most point per game seasons. Article starts off by saying Sid the Kid passes the great one. With a goal against the Buffalo Sabres on Thursday night, Pittsburgh Penguins captain Sidney Crosby became the first player in NHL history to register 20 point per game seasons. The record-breaking tally happened just past a halfway mark of the first period when number 87 fired a shot by Sabres goaltender James Reimer to cut Buffalo's early lead in half. The record was 19, set by Wayne Gretzky, and then in this game on Thursday, Sidney Crosby managed to break it. Hang on a second here. I'm actually missing part of the article, so give me 1 sec. I will put that up. There we go. So, the goal was Crosby's 28th goal of the season, giving the Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia native 80 points on the season. With the Penguins having just 7 more games left this season, Crosby will surpass Wayne Gretzky, who had a 19 point a game campaigns for the record. Gretzky played 20 seasons in his sensational NHL career, only finishing under a point per game when he posted 62 points in 70 games during his final season in 1998-1999. Obviously, people really remember that season. That was his final season with the Rangers, and obviously, from a Canucks perspective, people remember that year as that was, I believe, essentially the year that the Canucks almost got Wayne Gretzky to become a Vancouver Canuck. Everyone remembers that story on how he came close to signing with us, and I forget the name of the owner at the time. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they essentially had a not a handshake agreement, but a worded agreement from Gretzky himself that he would sign with the Canucks in the morning. But the Canucks owner at the time was really pushing for Gretzky to sign it right away. He wanted to get it done and signed, and for them to, I guess, announce it. They weren't willing to wait for the next day, and that essentially meant that Wayne Gretzky decided to sign with the Rangers instead. So he went with the Rangers instead of the Canucks, and that really put a dampen, as just imagine Wayne Gretzky having been a Vancouver Canuck in the late 90s. Yes, it was his final season, but still, it would have been something pretty cool. And it's something that us Canuck fans would have been able to, I don't want to say gloat, but, at least talk about that we had Wayne Gretzky on our team at one point or another. But not everyone can have nice things. So, but let's move on with the article. Thursday night's game was Crosby's 72nd game of the season, as he missed a couple games leading up to the Four Nations faceoff with an apparent upper body injury. Crosby's consistency has been one of the biggest strengths throughout his career, even though he's had to battle injuries, concussion problems, and mediocre teams in recent years. The 37-year-old has consistently been the Penguins' best player, has reached a few other milestones throughout the 2024-25 season. Back in October, he became the 10th player in NHL history to reach 1,600 points. He continued to climb the charts by surpassing Hockey Hall of Famer Joe Sakic for 9th all-time in league scoring. Just a few weeks ago, Crosby scored 2 goals against the Vegas Golden Knights, becoming the first player in league history to record multi-goal games against 31 NHL franchises. With 80 points on the year, Crosby moves into sole possession of second place for most 80-point seasons in NHL history. Doing so for the 14th time in his career, he only trails Gretzky, who accomplished the feat 17 times. In 1,344 career appearances, he has notched 618 goals, 1,058 assists for 1,676 points. Crosby has won 3 Stanley Cups during his time in Pittsburgh, winning the Conn Smythe Trophy in 2016 and 2017. And yeah, so that's going to do it for the article part of this. Yeah, a huge feat for Sid the Kid. As you saw in the thumbnail, I made a little, crack at the whole Great One nickname. Going, step aside, Wayne. There's a new Great Kid. I thought it was a little cheeky. But yeah, no. Big congratulations to Sidney Crosby. I'll be the first to admit I've not been the biggest Crosby fan over the years, and I just don't know why. I just didn't like him. Maybe that was the Canucks fan in me. But I will admit, in recent years, Crosby has grown on me. Obviously, I cheer for Crosby whenever there's involving Team Canada. Obviously, I'll always cheer for Crosby for that. This year was no different for the Four Nations face-off. And obviously, dating back to the 2010 Winter Olympics, obviously I was cheering for Crosby then. And I still remember that game-winning goal, the golden goal by Sidney Crosby. And obviously this year it was McDavid's turn to get that golden goal moment at the Four Nations. I will admit I do like Crosby a lot more than I like McDavid. But again, that's just the Canucks fan in me, But yeah, definitely big congratulations to Sidney Crosby. This is one hell of a feat that he's managed to do. I mean, surpassing a player like, Wayne Gretzky for a record like this, a record that's obviously stood for so long. And then obviously everyone knows the current chase for Alex Ovechkin on trying to tie and break Gretzky's goal record, for most goals in a career. He's, I believe it's 6 away now. So it's getting closer and closer. And obviously Ovechkin is running out of time as, the season is winding down. But it's going to be interesting when Ovechkin breaks that record, because that'll be 2 big records held by Gretzky that'll be broken. One by Ovi and one by Crosby, which is going to be quite something, when you really think about it. As obviously both Crosby and Ovi came into the league around the same time, 1 year after the other. I believe it was Ovechkin came into the league first. and then a year later it was Crosby. And obviously since those 2 years, it's been all about Crosby, Ovechkin, and the fact that they're still playing, they're still able to play at the level that they play at is absolutely incredible, and just goes to show you the type of players that they are. I have a lot of respect for both of those players, despite me having not liked Crosby for years. But it's more like just a dislike, being a Canucks fan and being a Penguin, and then, especially when, the Canucks play the Penguins. Obviously, there's that, but yeah, it's quite the year for the NHL this year, having those 2 separate records being broken or potentially being broken. I mean, I do think Ovechkin's going to break the record. I'm not saying that he's not, because he's had one heck of a season, and I just think it's going to be broken. Like, there's no question about it. But it does have 2 records that have been held for as long as they have by Wayne Gretzky, broken in the same season, is something special, for sure. But yeah, before I end this video, as that was the article I wanted to talk about, I'm gonna do my quick promo for that I've been doing in my last couple videos. I did it in my live stream the other day, and I did it in the Torts and Target video. I'm going to do it again in this one, just because I'm really trying to promote this event, as I want it to be completely successful. And I want to get people to come out, and that is, of course, the Vancouver versus Colorado watch party, hosted by Canucks Army at Greta Bar YVR. It is April 10th, Vancouver versus Colorado. Tickets are $10. You can also get a VIP ticket for $40. That includes a Greta burger, a beer or alcoholic drink, and a game card. Doors open at 5, puck drop at 6. It is in support of Kidsport, which is a great cause. As I mentioned, it is presented by Canucks Army, Surpasses and Price, Rank Wide Vancouver, or rather, it's hosted by them, and it's presented by Fountain Tire. Matt Surpasses, Blake Price of Surpasses and Price will be there. I did mention, maybe, Blake hasn't confirmed that he's going to be there, but I know for sure Matt will be there. David Quadrelli will be there. Jeff Patterson might be there. I'm not sure. And of course, I myself will be there. I've already got my ticket, so I cannot wait for this watch party. It is the last watch party of the season, so it's going to be big. Plus, they're facing Colorado. They're facing Nate McKinnon, Cale Makar. It's going to be Hughes versus Makar in this game, so it's a game you're not going to want to miss. So yeah, Greta Bar YVR, April 10th. Tickets are $10. You can get a VIP ticket for $40. Doors open at 5, puck drop at 6. You can secure your tickets at nationgear.ca. Must be 19 plus to attend. And I look forward to seeing you at Greta Bar YVR if you decide to come out, and if you're locally in the area. As I mentioned, I'll be there. Don't hesitate to say hi if you see me. Obviously, say hi to the likes of Matt Surpasses, Blake Price, and everyone. I believe Quadrelli will be emceeing it, so he will be likely the one with the microphone and making his way around. But Greta Bar YVR, great place to come and watch games. They got all the big screens. They got the arcade circling the bar, and it's just a really great environment. I've been there a few times now. This will be my second watch party. So I've gone once, and I really enjoyed myself. I felt welcomed, and it's just a really great experience. 50 West Cordova is the address. Greta Bar, YVR, let the games begin. And that's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, share, and if you're not subscribed to The Line Change, go ahead and subscribe. Also, become a Patreon member and get exclusive perks. The link is in the video description, as well as join our Discord. Be a part of the conversation. The link to that is also in our description down below. You can find us on social media at The Line Change on Instagram, Line Change Van on X. Search The Line Change on Facebook. You can find our Facebook page there. And you can also find us on TikTok at the.line.change.po. You can also listen to this podcast in an audio version or video format, whichever you prefer, on Spotify. Just search for us, The Line Change, and I'll see you guys in the next video.